I first got into gaming when my dad dusted off his old Nintendo 64 and played Star Fox and Ocarina of Time with me. I was probably 6 at the time, and watching him play blew my mind. I've been playing video games ever since. Whether it was playing League with my friends at LAN parties or a Civ 5 marathon during degenerate hours, video games have been a backdrop for some of my favorite memories. But for the last few years, I haven't been able to get the same enjoyment out of gaming as I did in the past. It's kind of all started to feel pointless and unengaging as I got older. The many different responsibilities competing for my attention made it so that when I finally did have a chance to sit down and play something, I end up feeling like garbage. I couldn't relax or get fully immersed since I was always thinking about the other ways I should be spending my time. At first I thought it was because the games I had were just not good enough. Good games should be able to make me forget about everything else, I thought. So I upgraded my PC and bought a bunch of well-received AAA and indie games, but nothing could quite hold my attention like they did in the past. That's when I knew that the video games haven't changed. It was me. Which leads me to my first piece of advice if you're feeling similar burnout for gaming or any kind of hobby. You should take a break. Honestly, your brain can only handle so much of a specific thing, and taking a break helps with that oversaturation. I stopped spending time looking for new things to play and filled it with other things instead. I traveled, picked up other hobbies like climbing, and I listened to more audiobooks and podcasts. Every once in a while, I'd test the waters and see if a new game would grab my attention, only to realize that I still wasn't feeling it. Taking a break was pretty difficult. Gaming has always been a huge part of my life and one of the few ways I could still spend time with my friends. But really, there was nothing I could do but wait. Over time, I started to think about games less and less. I got to a point where I thought that gaming would never have that same draw that it did back then. But that break gave me a chance to explore and have new experiences instead of sit at my computer and add to my Steam library with no success. And in the end, it played a large role in renewing my energy for video games. It felt like I got to rest and reboot that part of my brain. I'd say my break lasted about 2-ish years, but it stopped abruptly when I started to revisit this idea I had about creating content. I always wanted an outlet for creativity since my job doesn't really give me the opportunity to do so, but I didn't know what kind of content I wanted to create. I wasn't comfortable being in front of the camera, and I didn't really have any flashy skills like cooking or dancing, but I did still have a beefy PC. So I chose a couple of games I knew almost everyone knew about and just started recording. Those games were Minecraft and Palworld. Yeah, I know, everybody was making videos about these games, but I needed somewhere to start. They were like a pair of training wheels for me. I've had a copy of Minecraft since the beta, but I never really got into it. My bases were always holes in the ground, and all the freedom Minecraft had to offer seemed wasted on me. And Palworld, well, we all thought it was going to be a cash grab, but the buzz around it was insane. I started to play both games while brainstorming content ideas, not really expecting to get hooked at all. But something about changing my approach to gaming as a creative outlet rather than just entertainment to be consumed made it all click for me. All of a sudden, my interest was back, and I had an urge to play even when I wasn't recording footage. Which leads me to my second piece of advice. Recontextualize gaming or whatever hobby you're burnt out on. If you feel like gaming is starting to get boring, try approaching it from a different angle. Take me, for example. Playing games with the purpose of creating content out of it is a unique and exciting experience for me. I felt way more engaged while playing, and the puzzle of turning my gameplay into something others find entertaining is a problem that I find really compelling to solve. Maybe instead of just playing a game, you could approach it more like a critic. Write blogs or reviews detailing things you like and don't like, even if it's only for you to read. Or if a game has a really cool world, you could dig into the lore and maybe even look at the literary themes. You could stream your gameplay to friends, or maybe even strangers. You could write guides, theorize game-breaking builds, or engage in the game's community. The idea here is to get other interests and passions in your life involved with the video games. Who knows? You could have a similar experience to me and get that spark for gaming back. I know what you're thinking though. You probably still have that one question in your mind. What's the point? Why would I put so much effort into something that people consider a waste of time? Well, if you made it this far in the video, then you and I both know the truth is that gaming isn't a waste of time. Games can be a fun activity for people to bond over, or it could be a vehicle for stories with impactful and touching life lessons. For some people, games are a way they make a living and provide for their families. And while too much gaming can cause problems, that's only one side of the coin. Gaming is not a waste of time. It's a source of a lot of positivity and joy, and I think things like that should be pursued. I hope this video helps you reignite your passion for gaming, or whatever hobby you're burnt out on. I know my advice isn't really a fresh take, but I did base it on my experience with the hope that can help somebody. If this video did help, please consider liking and subscribing, since I'm still new to this YouTube thing and it's always encouraging to see some engagement. If you have any thoughts you want to add, please feel free to add it in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. Later.